Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm colouring a colouring page from Jasmine Becket-Griffith's book, and this image is Dress of Storms. Hopefully you enjoyed today's tutorial. So first of all, I am going to start off with the background now. I did do two different colours, but I'm doing the orange one for this tutorial. So I've got my RO00, my BV0, my Y00, my Y000, C1, BV29, BV25 and BV23. I've got a paintbrush there, nice and soft. I've got some Copic blending ink, so just clear ink there. I've got a container. I've put my ink into a dropper, it's just easy to get in out of the bottle. So first of all, I'm just going to put in some nice highlights on her skin and around on the clouds. What I'm going to do is build up colour. I'm going to build up this colour, putting on everything that I want within the sky on now, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the ink, the blending ink, to come back over and create a bleed out and blend of those colours. So first of all, I'm starting with the Y000, and I'm just going over all of the lightning bits here and around the clouds of the lightning. Okay, so I'm just coming around the clouds now, and I'm just putting some reflection in from that yellow into some of the tops of the clouds. So the way that they've been drawn, um, underneath the darker lines that have been drawn in should be really the wider, fluffier part of the cloud, and then right behind that would be the darker part of the cloud. So when I come up to put the darker colours in, I'll put the darker colours around those already drawn in lines to create the effect of behind and in front and things like that. A little bit on the wings, and I'm also going to put some on the head there, as you can see, and a little bit on the face. Arms, and the size of the cheeks there. So I'm going to bring in some YR00. I do apologise for the camera angle here. I do move it down in a moment. Um, just putting that on the skin, so in the shadow areas of the skin, the face, around the eyes, on top of the head and on the sides of the hair. Also just a little bit beside her nose and under her mouth. And I'm going to put some on her chest here and on her arms, so just the shadow areas there, and a little bit on the wings. I'm going to use this colour as well to put into the clouds, so we're going to do some spots around the clouds here as well and get them done. So just a little bit on the hair here too. So there's no order to where I'm putting it. I'm just randomly putting it in places around between the yellow and on the other wider clouds. So once I put the darker colours on and we use that clear to come through that, it's going to cut through to some of these bottom layers. So that's why I'm putting it on still, because it'll help bring that colour up. I am going to use some YR000 in a moment just to blend out the colour on her skin, because it did come out quite dark. So I'm just going to blend that out, feather it out a bit, just to make it look a little bit more smoother, so it's not quite so harsh. Just spreading it out over the head there as well, and I'll do the wings a little bit. I'm just going to slowly build up the colour on the wings and just on the skin there as well. Now I'm also going to put a few pink tones through the clouds and on her as well. So I'm going to use RV00, and I'm just going to go in and put it over the top of some of these shadowy areas. So it was RV000. Just blending out that yellow red now. Putting a little bit on her cheeks, sides of the nose. I'm going to be using some skin colours here, but just putting some of this in as well. So I'm going to come in with the darker colours now. I'm going to use BV29. And as I said before, I am going to just do this around those artist drawn lines. I'm kind of just circling it, roughly rubbing it on. I use the side of my marker a little bit and the tip. I'm just spreading it around those lines, putting a little bit into the white spaces. So a lot of this will just get blended out anyway, but just to put that colour on the page. Just doing this all over, all the way around these lines. So everywhere there's these lines, I've just filled in this. Turn at the top there, I'm just going to do down the bottom here. As I said before, we are going to cut through this darker colour, and it should then bring up what's in the bottom. filling out some more of those white spaces. I did miss the camera angle a fair bit there, sorry about that. So I'm just going over and making sure I've got most of those lines there. Just filling them all in at the top, putting a bit more in through the clouds there, and I'm going to blend it out with BV25. Just going to go over the same areas and just sort of move it out a little bit further, just spreading it out, getting a bit of different colours and different shades in there. Okay, so I'm going to blend that out with the BV23 now, and I'm just spreading it over most of the page now, so just still leaving little gaps in between where the yellow and the orange will pop through, but just trying to put as much of this on as I can. And I'm just going over the top of the previous colours and putting some into the middle as well. I'm just adding a little bit of C1 in there as well, just blending over the top of that. Now I'm putting in BV00, and I'm just going over the top of everything again, just filling in a little bit more of the space, open spaces there, just putting a little bit more purples into it. Don't need a lot, just spreading it around. So it kind of looks like a little bit of a mess right now, doesn't it? Yours is going to look completely different to mine. They all will come out completely different because you may have put your colours in the different spots. You may have used different colours, but yeah, it won't look exactly the same, and that's okay. Just a little bit more of that Y00, just around those lightning bolts and in the clouds a bit more. Coming in with Y00 and just doing some more of the cloud. And now just using some YR00 just to get into the cloud areas there. A little bit more colour. I'm going to come back in with those two colours again after I've finished doing the clear ink. So now we've done that, we're going to get our clear fluid. So I'm just getting some out of my dropper there and I'm putting it into my little holder. I've got my brush and I'm just wetting that nicely. I'll probably fill that up about twice by the time I finish. So I'm just lightly grabbing it and just lightly dabbing it on. We are using quite a lot. It is going to seep through the colours, so we want it to kind of blend out, look rainbow coloured almost. So it's just going to lighten and bleed out the darker colours out into the lighter ones. I've just done this over the whole page. So you can see it's really starting to bleed out now and look abstract. Um, you can't really see that I've drawn in lines. You can just, but they're hard to decipher now. So yeah, I'm just sort of waiting for patches to dry and then coming in with a little bit more and putting it on. I'm also concentrating on the areas where it would be white as well, just to push the ink back out away from the whiter, fluffier parts of the clouds. So you can see there that on that side there that I've just bled out that BV 29, and you can see the blue really coming out in that, and then the purple spreads out further. You can also see a little bit of red from that wire colour as well. So you just wait for that to dry. The page might crinkle a little bit, but it flattens out pretty good once you're finished. I'm just putting in some shadows now with E04, and I'm just doing the shadows of the face. So I'm just doing under her hair at the top here, and again I've missed it with the camera. Coming down into the shadow areas beside her face, on her ears, around her nose, around her eyes, also the cheeks, and just giving her all of those important shadows that the hair and things like that would cast over her skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and line all these now. Now I'm just going to blend that out and make it a little bit lighter. So I'm going to use my E11, and I'm just going to spread that colour out more. So we're going to go over the top of that dark colour all the way to the edge there and bring it out further into the lighter area of the face. So just everywhere that I did do the E04, I'm now doing over the top with E11. So I'll just do the face first, and then I'll go down into the body. Just done a little area around her cheek bit there, and also I've done a half moon on her chin. Just putting tiny little marks on the side there so I know where her edge of her nose would be. I'm going to blend that out now with E21 and just bring that a little bit further out, kind of feathering the forehead there. Just going out down around the cheeks there and just blending out the eyeshadow area down and around the corners of the nose and the eye, and then on the cheeks again. Trying to bring in a little bit of shape. Okay, so now I've done the face there with that one. I'm going to go to my next lightest colour, which is E00. I'm going to just blend that out a little bit more, covering up most of the face now, just leaving the little highlight areas for our lightest colour. Just shaping the nose a little bit and the cheeks a little bit. Now I'm coming in with that E00 and I'm just going to go over the rest of the face with this colour and just blend it out towards the darker areas now. Just giving it smooth blend. Some R00, I'm just using that for some blush and some eyeshadow. So do it underneath our eyes and on top and onto the side edge bits there and onto the cheek. Might just put a little bit in the shadows there too. I've got Y000 and I'm just filling in a little bit more there. Just getting some reflection off the clouds and the lightning. Just going to go back over there a little bit with the RV00. Just blending that out with E000 again, just to give that smooth look. Now I'll move down to the arms and I'll do the same thing. So we'll start blending that E04 out with the E11. So now I've finished off the skin, I'm just putting some YR00 back around the edges of the background here. And some Y 000. So I'm just sort of putting a little bit of colour on top of the other colour, blending it out a little bit more, giving it a little bit more highlight, because now it's dried off. The darker areas are still quite dark, so I'm just lightening up those lighter areas now. I'm just coming in with B63, and I'm just going to put a little bit more colour into the face. So I'm just going to make her a little bit darker around the eye area, and just bringing a bit more shadow into her face. Just blending that out with B60. Just going to do a little bit of a shadow in the middle of her forehead there as well. E00 to blend that out, because I want that shadow across the face there. I'll do that as well. Okay. And now I have E000. I'm just going over the top of all that now. Blending it out so it's nice and smooth. Smooth transition. B60 again. I'm just going to do some of the shadow areas on the forehead. Just blending that out with E000. So she's looking quite dark there. So I'm just going to do another layer of the full colours just to finish it off, get the final last bit of depth in there. So I'm going in with E04 first, doing all the shadow areas and around the eyes. Now I've come in with E11 and I'm just blending that out. Just doing in the creases of the shadow areas as well. Coming in with E21 and going over that again. Just bringing that shadow area a little bit deeper and bringing it out a little bit further. Going over all the previous colours. You can see there's a lot of shapes starting to come in now. I've just done that in the middle of the forehead as well. Around the eyes. And on the nose. Starting to get little round cheeks now. Got my E00. Just blending it all out nice and smooth. The last colour is E000 and I'm just going to blend that all out. So just starting from the middle this time and working my way back out to the shadow areas. Perfect. Fix up some of the skin on her chest to make it a little bit darker. Just going over the skin of the body again here. So I just started from the second darkest colour, which was E11, and then I've just gone up to E11, E21, and I'll do some more E00 and E000. Okay, so we've done the skin now. Just coming in with B69, and I'm just going to do the top parts of the eye here with this. So just going around the pupil area and just doing underneath the lid with this colour. I'm going to blend it out with B66 and bring it down a little bit further. And then just in the middle bottom part there, I'm going to do B63. Just fill that out now. Now I'm bringing in a little bit of R20. I'm going to put it underneath the eye, or on the bottom eyelid there, and just on the corners of the eye, inside and out. I'm putting C1 on the top, underneath the top lid, just to show the shadow of the eye, and then I'm just going to blend them out a tiny bit with the colourless blender. I'm going to do her orange, so I'm doing her lips YR14. I'm just doing the shadow areas of the lips, and then I'm going to blend it out with YR12. And then some YR00. Just using YR14 again just to deepen it up. But I think it needs to be deeper again, so I'm just going to get a darker YR colour. Just use this one to go around a necklace. Just blending that out again. So I'm using the B69 on the edge of the jewel there. I'm going to blend it out with B66 and then a little bit of B63. And later on I'm going to come and put a little bit of a shine on that with my white pencil or white gel pen. I'm just using YR14 to line the wings. I am actually going to change these to blue later on, so you can leave this step if you like. This is going to give it more depth anyway. Do the same thing on her outfit. I'm going to start to bring out the brighter colours. So I'm going to start with YR07 and I'm going to go in and line all the shadow areas of the hair. So anywhere where the hair's sitting on top of other hair or where there's a dip in the hair, I'm also doing the eyebrows. I'm just going to fill this out now for you. So I'm just going to do little flicks in the big areas, but all in the shadow areas I'm just lining that. So I'm just going to flick little lines out up towards the middle. And then out from the top down towards the other side. So I flicked little flicks all the way up to the top of the hair, and then I've left a gap in the middle and I'm coming back the other way and filling them in. So just little lines up towards the middle. Done that on all those edge bits as well. Doing the bottom parts of the curls here as well. So I brought in YR04. I'm just filling out the rest of the eyebrows there. And I'm just going to flick over the top of the previous colour and further out into the middle. So I'm just blending that out a bit and spreading it down to the middle. So I'm still leaving a white gap there in the middle, that's our highlight. Going to do this all over as well as on all the tangly bits of hair there as well. a YR02, and I'm just going over the top and coming further out into the white area. I'm going to come in with some white gel pen at the end, and I'm just going to highlight those lighter bits a little bit more, but for now I've just filled those in a bit, so left a little bit of a gap and just spread that over. So coming little strokes down one side and then back up the other side, so they're meeting in the middle. So our lips were a little bit washed out there, so I'm going to bring in some darker colours. So I'm going to bring in YR18 and just do the darker areas, so underneath the lip there and on the top there. Then I'm going to blend that out with YR14, just a little bit further, still leaving a little bit of a gap there. And I'm going to blend that out again with YR12. I will come in with the white pen and just fill that out a little bit later as well. Now I've brought in a darker colour underneath these orange colours because it helps to just deepen them and give a bit more of a shadow. So I'm going under and around all these areas here to add in some shadows. So just in the middle of the waist there, she's got a bit of a bend, so I will make that there a little bit darker, so you can see that that would be a shadow area. So underneath there would be shadow too, and then on the bend of her hip there, or her waist, sorry, would be a shadow area. So everywhere where I've got shadows, I'm just putting this E99 in, and we're going to go over that with YR07. It's nice and bright, that orange, and I'm just going to blend that out. So I'm blending it out with YR04, and I will put a little bit of YR02 over the top of that highlight area as well. And then I'm going to repeat this on the rest of the outfit. I've also missed her hair there, so I'm going to fill that out as well. going to pop that E99 in the shadow areas of the hair here, just to deepen them up a little bit, and then I'll go back over them again with the YR07. So next is the YR07. Now YR04. So just repeating the colours a little bit there, just to get some more shadow. I'm going to come in and line the areas on her body, on the clothes and also her wings with B69, and just fill those out so they're nice and dark. I'm just going to put that B69 into the wings as well, so I'm just going to line the wings with that one. I'm just going to bring in some YR07 and just finish off her hair underneath her wings here. And I've just brought in YR04 and I'm just going over the top of that now. And then I'll do a highlight colour, which will be the YR02. So just finishing that one off now. Just putting a little bit of that yellow in around the hair there to fill in the sky behind her. So that was Y000. Got YR00, and I'm just going to blend out the bottom of that dress there into the clouds. And I'm going to put some of this in the clouds as well, to give that reflection of the top of her outfit down onto those clouds now. Blending that out again with Y00. It's YR02, just a little bit darker now on the clouds, just that reflection there. I'm just going to do around the bottom part here. Just blending that out a little bit with the YR00. Now that's Y11. I've just brought that in. It's a little bit darker just to fill out some more of the clouds around the lightning areas. I'm really just doing all of the lighter areas now of the clouds just to fill in the extra colour there, just because of the glow on her wings and her hands and the lightning. I'm going to bring in some colours and I'm just going to build up the wing area. So I wanted it sort of to have a bit of a rainbow look to it, you know, with the reflection of the clouds and things like that. So I've chosen B63 first, and I'm just going to go from the shadows first on this one. So just kind of flicking the last parts of that out a little bit just to be able to blend in the next colour. And just got some B60 and I'm just blending that out. So I'm not going all the way into the middle of the wings, I'm just sort of going over the top bit there and just on the edges where the shadows be and just blending that same colour out. And down on the bottom as well. Now I've got RV00 and I'm just going out from there again. I'm just doing the tip of the wings this time and coming back. Just brought in the YR00 and I'm just blending that out a little bit, doing the tips of the wings now. So just building that colour up gradually. Now I've got a little bit of YR02 and I'm just doing some of the shadow areas with that. And just sort of flicking that out again so that the next colour will blend out easier. So now I'm using some BG40 and I'm just going over the top of the whole lot. Just blending out that darker colour a little bit more there and going over the whole wing. Now I've got B000 and I'm just doing the same thing. So I'm just gradually trying to get a rainbow effect on them. And I'm going over it with Y11. Just going over the whole wing, so the middle part of the wing looks yellower than the rest of it. So I'm coming in now with my black pencil and I'm just going over the eyelashes and the lids. I'm going to fill out the pupil of the eye as well, just to bring them out a little bit more. You could use your black marker. I've just used a pencil because the image was small, so I didn't want to bleed that out too much. I've just popped a few extra in. Just filling out the whole area of the lashes now. Got a little bit underneath. I'll put some blush pink just underneath there. Blend that out a little bit. That's it, we're done. Okay, so now I'm going to put some white gel pen on, and unfortunately I didn't move the camera for that bottom bit, but I just put on her gem on the right hand side of the gem. I've just stuck a little line and a couple of dots on there. I'm going to put some lines on her wings to show that they're glossy or glassy, and I'm also going to put a little bit on the blue around the wings as well, the dark blue. And I'll put a little bit in her outfit as well. Anywhere where I think that there would be a little bit of glitter, I'll do there. And also I'm going to do the lightning bolts with this white, just so that they stand off the page as well. So that's the picture done today. I did do this in 2 colours, but I wasn't quite happy with the background in the other colour. So I'll try and, if I can remember, I'll try and list the alternative colours on my blog, so you can check that out. The link will be in the description. Also, if you'd like to join our Facebook group, you're welcome to join over there, and if you have any questions about the videos, you can just ask. If you wanted to know anything, I'm happy to answer if I can. So yeah, you're welcome to come over there. That's also in the description. And yeah, if you would like to subscribe to receive notifications when I do upload new videos, do that as well. So I'm just going to finish all these white parts off, and then we'll come to the end of that. And I just want to thank Jasmine for doing these beautiful images, and hopefully you enjoyed today's session. just adding a couple of extra lines in this just to spread them out a little bit more. So we have our finished colouring. Thank you so much.